Welcome to Cryptic Ancient, where lost civilizations whisper through stone and forgotten worlds wait beneath our feet. Tonight, we descend into one of humanity's deepest secrets, a city carved into darkness, engineered with impossible precision, and abandoned without explanation. This is Derinkuyu, the underground megacity that shouldn't exist. Let's begin the descent.
For centuries, it lay hidden beneath an ordinary village home in Cappadocia. A man renovating his basement in 1963 pushed against what he thought was just another wall. But the stone shifted, revealing a black void, a cold breath of ancient air, and a stairway descending into darkness. He had not discovered a cellar. He had uncovered the entrance to one of the largest underground cities ever built on Earth, Derinkuyu. But the deeper researchers went, the stranger it became. Multi-level corridors, huge stone doors weighing hundreds of pounds, a ventilation system so advanced it still functions today, and tunnels stretching miles below the ground. How did ancient people carve this? Who were they hiding from? And why does Derinkuyu look more like a fortress designed for a cataclysm than a home? Because at level 8, archaeologists found something no one could explain.
Researchers mapped the first floors quickly, but the farther they descended, the more the architecture evolved. Staircases became narrower, rooms multiplied, and ventilation shafts rose like the arteries of a giant underground organism. These shafts weren't accidental. 52 of them run through the city, supplying fresh air to 20,000 people. Even more surprising, the airflow remains stable no matter how many people are inside. Modern engineers still admire its precision. Then came the discovery that changed everything: a tunnel stretching toward the neighboring underground city of Cappadocia, nearly 6 miles away. 2 entire cities connected beneath the earth. But connected for what? Trade? Survival? A shared threat? Archaeologists began to suspect Derinkuyu wasn't built for life, but for escaping something far worse on the surface.
Derinkuyu isn't a random maze. It's a system, tightly organized and mathematically planned. Each floor has specific functions: storage rooms, wine-making chambers, religious halls, kitchens, even massive stables for livestock. But the real shock? The giant rolling stone doors, each carved from a single slab, weighing up to 600 pounds, placed so perfectly that a child could spin it shut, sealing the tunnel from the inside. These were not ordinary doors. They were defensive mechanisms, designed to slow invaders while residents retreated to deeper levels. Most historians point to threats like warfare or raids. Yet the scale of Derinkuyu suggests something bigger, something that terrified an entire community enough to bury themselves alive for weeks, even months. But the more archaeologists compared Derinkuyu to known ancient warfare, the less it made sense.
When was Derinkuyu built? Most scholars say the Phrygians carved the first levels around the 7th–8th century BCE. But there's a problem. The stone is volcanic tough, soft when exposed, but extremely difficult to shape with early Iron Age tools. Yet the tunnels of Derinkuyu show consistency, symmetry, and engineering far beyond crude chisels. Some researchers propose an earlier Anatolian culture. Others argue it may have begun in the Bronze Age. And then there are the controversial theories that an unknown pre-flood civilization started the first layers, or that it was designed as a bunker during ancient climate catastrophes. Most historians dispute these theories, yet the anomalies remain intriguing. Because, whatever the origin, the builders never left us a single inscription, not a symbol, not a carving, not a name. It's as if the first people of Derinkuyu wanted to be forgotten.
When archaeologists examined soot marks in ventilation shafts, they made an unsettling discovery. The burn layers were not constant. They appeared in concentrated periods, moments when thousands of torches burned simultaneously. This meant something forced entire populations underground at the same time. But what? Theories include foreign invasions, Assyrians, Persians, later Arabs, religious persecution, natural disasters, extreme climate events. But here's the twist. The deepest levels show signs of long-term habitation. Kitchens, schools, chapels. Not temporary hiding places. These were life support systems. So what if the people of Derinkuyu weren't hiding from armies, but from the environment itself? Because geological records from the region show a terrifying pattern. Central Anatolia has experienced massive volcanic eruptions, sudden temperature drops, and prolonged droughts. Ash layers dating back thousands of years suggest that entire regions were once uninhabitable. Imagine ash raining from the sky for days. Imagine the sun disappearing. Imagine the surface turning into a toxic wasteland. Some geologists believe early residents may have experienced these events firsthand. Derinkuyu, then, becomes not a bunker, but a sanctuary from a world in collapse. Ventilation shafts would keep air clean. Underground water wells stayed uncontaminated. Livestock could live in lower levels. This wasn't fear-driven construction. It was strategic survival architecture. But even this theory couldn't explain the most puzzling feature of all. Engineers studying Derinkuyu noticed something bizarre. The deeper you go, the cooler and fresher the air becomes. No modern AC, no fans, just stone, symmetry, and ancient design. Ventilation shafts drop hundreds of feet, yet oxygen levels remain stable. Even today, researchers can walk for hours without discomfort. How did ancient builders understand air pressure, airflow, and underground thermodynamics? How did they prevent deadly carbon buildup? And why do the shafts resemble the designs of much later civilizations? One researcher called it ancient engineering on the edge of perfection. Another admitted, we still don't fully understand how they achieved this. And if Derinkuyu's airflow was engineered, what else was deliberate?
Derinkuyu is not random. Every function has a place. Every corridor leads to purpose. Researchers mapped specialized rooms, a massive schoolroom near the third level, a winery beside a secure food storage hall, narrow escape tunnels branching into nowhere, a vast underground church, and water wells accessible only from inside, preventing poisoning from outside enemies. This wasn't merely an underground town. It was a sealed ecosystem, built for protection and self-sufficiency. But protection from whom? Or from what? To answer that, we have to look at the tunnels that lead out of Derinkuyu and into the mountains.
Archaeologists found something truly astonishing. Derinkuyu is not alone. Cappadocia holds at least 200 underground cities, many partially connected. Kaymakli, Tatlaran, Oskonak. Some are smaller. Some are even deeper. Together, they form a vast subterranean network across the region. A network built in phases, over centuries, possibly following an original ancient blueprint. Imagine an entire civilization capable of disappearing beneath the earth at will. Imagine communication, trade, and survival all operating underground. An ancient shadow society, not mythical, but real. But even networks end, and that brings us to the final mystery.
One day, the people of Derinkuyu left. Not all at once, not suddenly, but gradually, over generations. The Byzantines used it. Later, Christian communities used it again. But eventually, the city fell silent. No final battle, no collapse, no catastrophe. Just silence. Archaeology tells us how Derinkuyu functioned, but not why it was built, not who built the first layers, and not what drove entire cultures underground. Maybe they feared invaders, maybe they feared nature, or maybe they feared something we no longer understand. In the end, Derinkuyu stands as a monument to human resilience, a reminder that the past is deeper than we imagine, a question carved in stone beneath our feet. Perhaps the ancients did not build it to hide from the world above, but to preserve a world they loved. And maybe, just maybe, they left us not answers, but a doorway waiting for us to descend, listen, and remember.
The deeper we go, the more we realize the past isn't behind us. It's below us, above us, around us, carved into every hidden corner of the earth. Derinkuyu remained silent, but its silence is a question that has never stopped echoing. If this journey stirred your curiosity, subscribe and return to the shadows with us again. Because here, on Cryptic Ancient, the mysteries never end.